My goal for 2024 is to achieve my 2023 goals, which I wasted in 2022 because I wasn't ready in 2021 because of the 2020 pandemic, even though I had set them back in 2019. Exactly. Even though it's summer and the weather is nice and we should all be feeling great, I sometimes find myself getting discouraged at this time of year when I realize that half of the year is behind us. And this meme hits a little bit too close to home. So if you haven't made the progress that you would have liked in the last 6 months or in the last 5 years, I get it and I've got a plan to help you. I always think about the quote that we overestimate what we can accomplish in a week, but we underestimate what we can accomplish in a year. 2024 is not over. We still have time. But if we want to make sure that we achieve our goals, we have to put our efforts in the right place. And that's what we're going over in today's video. 4 things that you can do to get back on track and achieve your goals before the end of the year. The first thing that we have to do is stop working alone. I know a lot of us are making money online, maybe working from home, or not in a place where we have someone physically next to us who has the same mindset and the same goals. And in that environment, it is really, really hard to keep up the momentum towards what you're trying to accomplish, which is why I started a school community, because being on my email list or even in the comment section of these YouTube videos doesn't allow us to really interact and support each other in a way that's going to make a difference. So the first task in your 7 days of getting back on track is to get some accountability. And the easiest way to do that is to join the free school community and share your BHAG. This stands for your big, hairy, audacious goal. It's the goal that you have that kind of gives you a little bit of butterflies in your stomach, like, man, I'm not really sure if I could do that. That's the goal that it's really important that you share with other people, because you need energy behind that goal. You need motivation, and you can find that in a community of like-minded people. Level 2 is, after you join the school community, is to text a friend or potential business partner, share your BHAG with them, and also invite them to join the community as well. One thing I'm committed to doing for everyone that comes into the school community is to answer whatever questions you have about business building or content creation or real estate right when you join, as well as invite you to the free co-working sessions that you'll find under the calendar tab, where we just hop on Zoom, turn on our cameras, and get to work. Whether you're at your 9 to 5 or you're working from home, it's easier when you can just look up on Zoom and see that other people are also focusing on their work. So use the link beneath this video, join the free school community, and you will have checked off item 1 of 4 to get back on track this week. The next thing we want to audit is our business. And I say this because if you're watching this channel, you're probably interested in making more money, achieving financial freedom, and you're doing that in some way that is self-driven. Whether you're trying to break into real estate investing or you're starting your own business, you are leading the charge towards changing your financial future and the financial future of your family. And so the first thing that I want you to do, I want you to check out a free quiz that I created called the Business Potential Assessment. And what this is a quiz that asks you questions and categorizes your answers into 6 essential business pillars. The first pillar is your operations, what you're actually offering. The second is, are you hiring correctly or at all if you don't have anyone else helping you in your business yet? The third is, do you have the right reporting and analytics? Do you know how much your business is actually spending and making? 4 and 5 are your marketing and your sales. And then 6 is your time management, which we'll get to in a moment. But once you finish that free assessment, it'll give you a ranking of how you're doing in each of those 6 categories. And then you can head back to the free school community and you can take the free course on each of those 6 business pillars so that you can improve what your business is doing, quickly get on the path to making more money and achieving your 2023 goals. Both of those resources, the school community and the business assessment, are linked in the comment section beneath this video. Next up, it is time to steal back your time. I am someone who oftentimes feels busy, especially at this time of year when family's visiting and I'm taking trips. It can feel like I just don't have time to accomplish the things that are going to move me towards my goals. And it's a humbling experience to then go look at my screen time and realize how much of that time that I don't have is actually going towards Twitter and TikTok and social media and games on my phone. It can be uncomfortable, but just take a look at your screen time, and if it makes you feel a little type of way in your stomach, then there's probably some changes that we can make. And I've got 2 methods that you can use. The first is to use time blocking on your calendar. It's easy when we just have an entire day in front of us to meander from one thing to the next and not really know what we should be accomplishing. But if on your calendar you have a set amount of time that's going to go towards certain things that are priorities for you, it's much easier to just have an organized view of your day and accomplish the things that you need to accomplish. I've got time blocks for when I'm going to create content, when I'm going to go to the gym, when I'm taking sales calls for my YouTube agency. It's all set out on my calendar, and that doesn't mean that every single day abides slides by those time blocks directly, but I at least go into my days with a plan so that time just doesn't get lost. It can also help you squeeze together your different time blocks so that you don't have like a random 30 minutes or a random hour and a half between things that are happening. And like me sometimes, you just end up laying on the couch scrolling on TikTok before your next thing. If you can squeeze things together, then you'll have bigger chunks of time for leisure and you'll be more productive when you're actually in the zone. So that's easy mode. Check your screen time, set up some time blocks. If you want to go hard mode and you're like a data nerd like me, then we're going to track our time using a productivity tracker called Rise. And they're not sponsoring this video. You can use any productivity tracker that you like, but I just really like Rise. I use it every single day, and it's a simple app that goes on your computer, and once you set it up, it will track and categorize the different things that you're doing. So for example, I know that when I'm in Slack, that means I'm talking to my team for the YouTube agency, and so Rise tracks anytime I'm on Slack as agency admin time. I use a particular app to film these YouTube videos, and so anytime this app is open on my laptop, Rise is automatically tracking and categorizing it as YouTube filming time. I've got a link in the description so that you can get a free trial of Rise, yes, to try it out, but also just to get some useful data. I recently cut down on the amount of time that I spend in meetings because of what I learned from Rise, as well as turned off Gmail notifications because it was the #1 thing interrupting me during my day. At the end of your 7-day trial, Rise will send you a PDF outline of everything you did that week and where your time went, what interrupted you, what times of day you were most productive, and whether or not you decide to continue using Rise after that free trial. That information can be super valuable so that you can move forward and structure your days a little bit better so that you don't feel like time is slipping through your fingers. Okay, next up, we gotta get our money right. I know that it can be taboo to talk about money, but I hope that I've shown on this channel that sharing the ups and downs and different ways of making money benefits us all. And so with that in mind, I'll share one of the best pieces of advice that I ever got from a mentor. And it was that the way you manage your personal finances is a direct indication of how you will manage any future business finances. And this is when I was getting excited about entrepreneurship and investing, and I was super focused on like, okay, if I spend this much money on direct mail and then I get this deal and it took me this much time, and I'm just like calculating exactly how much money I would be making in my business, but I only had a vague idea of what was going in and out of my personal bank account. And if you're not making a ton of money right now, that's okay. But don't fool yourself into thinking that you'll get better with money when you have more of it. It's better to figure things out now in your worlds of personal finances, and then as your business grows and as your income grows, you have a system that you already have experience with. So what do we do? Level 1 would be to download an app like Mint.com, Rocket Money, or You Need a Budget. I think all of them have free versions that will be good enough for what you need. And that's some exact tracking and categorization of what's coming in and out of your personal finances. So whenever you get paid, whether it's from your own business, from a side hustle, from your 9-to-5 job, whatever it is, exactly how much is coming in and then exactly how much is going out. And these are things that we want to think about on a monthly basis. We don't want to think about what's my salary and what are all of my expenses for the year, because it's hard to make changes when we think of things in 12-month increments. But we want to think in 1 month, in May, in June, in July. How much money came in, how much money went out. And we want to make sure that at the very least, we're doing 2 things. The first one is that we're paying ourselves first. This is a concept I learned from a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. And it's all about how we think about and prioritize our money. And that when we get paid, who does the first dollar go to? Right now, I imagine it might go to your mortgage or your rent or your car bill or groceries. I'm not trying to imply that those things aren't important. What I am saying though, is instead of paying everyone else first and what's left over is for you, is that the first dollar goes towards you. It goes to your savings account or your emergency fund. It goes into the pot that you're going to use to invest in your business. And it's not that you have to change the amounts that you're spending, but the order, so that in your mind, the first dollar you earn is for you. And just that subtle shift makes a huge difference in how you think about your finances. So after you pay yourself first, the second most important thing is that you are cash flow positive. It's actually scary how many people do not know if they are making more money than they spend each month, or if they're spending more money than they make each month. And so whatever your personal finances are, Mint.com, You Need a Budget, whatever it might be, will help you determine if you are in fact cash flow positive. Because whatever goal you have for making more money does not matter if you make more money and then just spend more money. You're just going to continue to go into the negative. So this is really, really important. After you've done level 1, if you want to go even further down the road of getting your personal finances in order, I absolutely recommend that you check out Ramit Sethi's book called I Will Teach You to Be Rich. It's a very good book. It's an easy read. I've read it 3 or 4 times over the last 10 years or so, and it's very helpful in simplifying advanced concepts that to me were just super confusing, like index funds and mutual funds and all that good stuff, as well as laying out a step-by-step plan for how you can get your personal finances in order. Accountability, business, time, and finances. 4 things to get you back on track in the next 7 days so that 2024 doesn't end up disappointing and you can move on to accomplishing bigger and better things in 2025. Check out the link to those free resources in the comment section beneath this video, and YouTube thinks that you should watch this video next.